Welcome to Cricut Crafts by Jo. In today's video I'm going to show you how to emboss using your Cricut Explore. To do this you'll need the Ranger Perfect pens, some embossing powder, I'm using clear, and a heat tool, mine's from Paper Mania. These Ranger Perfect pens are just a pen version of the Perfect Medium ink that you can use to resist ink, watermark and emboss. The pens come in a packet of two, one with a brush and one with a bullet nib. However, you can only use the bullet nib in your machine. This pen follows the exact same profile as the Cricut pens, so works perfectly in your machine without any additional adapter. I bought these pens from Amazon for £3.86, which is particularly cheap at the moment, so if you're considering it then now is the time to buy them, so quick, go ahead. Now, how to use these pens. The weather outside at the moment is pretty horrible and grotty, and so I thought I'd do a floral design to help cheer us up. So all I've done is imported some flowers and hearts and circles from images that are available in Design Space. I've attached them all together, and then rather than cut them out, you need to make sure that in the layers panel they are all set to right and not cut. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to my machine. Now, I've not put a box around it, you'll notice, just because I'm using it on a random piece of paper that I'm going to cut out myself. But if you do want it to cut out, then make sure that you attach a box that is in cut format. I found these pens work on the majority of my cardstock and paper, and I'm just going to use some 160 GSM white card here. It's just a scrap that I've got lying around. So go ahead and insert the pen. Insert the pen in exactly the same way as you would your Cricut pen, holding the base upwards and pushing the pen down. I've tried my best to capture the pen at work here, but unfortunately the ink is clear, so it doesn't show up too well. Once the machine has finished drawing, I just unloaded the mat, and you can just about see the image that is drawn on here. So removing the cardstock, I'm just going to place a scrap piece of paper underneath and go ahead and cover it in my embossing powder. As I said earlier, I'm using clear, but you can use any colour, and I've found that this technique works with all the different embossing powders that I have. So now I've covered the image completely, I'm just going to lift it up and move the powder around on the card slightly, just to ensure that I've covered all the image, and then knock off the excess, and hopefully you should see the image a bit better now I've covered it in the embossing powder. So I want to show you a good technique and a bad technique when heating up your embossing powder. So just grab your heat tool. As I said, I'm using the Paper Mania heat tool. Got it for around the £10 mark from Hobbycraft, but I know you can buy it on Amazon and at other craft stores too. First is the bad technique, and this is heating your embossing powder from the top. Doing it this way can quite easily blow the powder away, creating blank spaces where there should be powder, and also it can sprinkle the powder across your project, creating tiny little speckles, which is not ideal. So the second way is my good way, and this is heating your embossing powder from the underside. This stops any powder from being blown away and gives you a better view of what you're doing and when the embossing powder turns. Because I'm using clear embossing powder here, you'll begin to see the image disappearing as the embossing powder sets. Hopefully you've been able to see how quick and easy this is, and using the embossing pens opens up a whole new level on your Cricut machine. because you are now able to emboss any image already available in Design Space, or any image that you want to upload also, which means you save on having to buy all individual stamps and you can create whatever you like. I used this technique at Christmas and drew out some really intricate snowflakes and then embossed them in silver and white glitter powder, and it created a really stunning yet simple card. This embossed image I coloured in with my distress ink, so if you'd like to see this video then click on the link above. And thanks very much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks now, bye.